Okay, so let's get right into it. If you've ever, and I mean ever, asked an AI to write some Terraform code for you, you've probably had that moment of pure frustration. You know, the one where it gives you something that's just flat out broken? Well, today we're going to talk about a tool from HashiCorp that's built to fix that exact headache. It's all about connecting your AI to the real, live, ever-changing world of Terraform.
Seriously, haven't we all been there? You ask for something simple, like an S3 bucket configuration, and what you get back is basically a history lesson in outdated HCL syntax. It's supposed to be a time saver, but instead you're stuck debugging. So what's the deal? Why does this keep happening? Well, it really boils down to this fundamental conflict. On one side, you've got your AI's knowledge base. Think of it like a photograph. It's a perfect snapshot of the world at one specific moment in time. But on the other side, you have the Terraform ecosystem, which is more like a raging river. It's alive, with over 6,000 providers and almost 22,000 modules that are constantly being updated. That static photo just can't keep up. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The ecosystem moves so fast. New resources pop up, old arguments get thrown out, defaults change. The AI's training data, no matter how smart the model is always playing catch-up. It's like trying to navigate a city that's constantly rebuilding itself using last year's map. It's just not going to work. So this is where a cool piece of tech called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, comes into play. The easiest way to think about it is like a universal adapter for an AI. It's a standard, a common language that lets a model securely reach out and use external tools. It gives the AI a window to the outside world to get live, real-time info that's not stuck inside its training data. And that brings us to the hero of the hour, HashiCorp's official Terraform MCP server. This tool is that special bridge. It's the thing that connects your AI assistant directly to all the live, up-to-the-second data in the entire Terraform registry. It is the missing link we've been waiting for. So how does this actually work in practice? It's really just a simple four-step dance. First, you give your AI a prompt. But instead of just guessing from its old memory, the AI now uses the MCP server to ask the live Terraform registry. The server then goes and fetches the current information, the latest docs, the right syntax, and finally, the AI takes that fresh, correct data and uses it to write HCL that actually works. Simple as that. Let's look at a classic example. Before MCP, you ask for a versioned S3 bucket, and you might get this chunk of code. Now, if you've been working with Terraform for a while, you're probably cringing right now. That nested versioning block, that's been gone since version 4.0 of the AWS provider. This code is destined to fail. But now, with the MCP server, check out the difference. The AI has live access. It knows that versioning is now its own separate resource, AWS S3 bucket _ versioning, and just like that, it generates the correct, modern code that follows today's best practices. This right here is that aha moment. It just works. No fuss, no debugging. So it's obviously a game changer, but what can it actually do? Let's pop the hood for a second and take a look at the core tools and features this MCP server actually gives your AI assistant. It's like your AI just unlocked a bunch of new superpowers. It can now actively search for providers and modules on its own. And once it finds what it's looking for, it can use other tools to get all the details: documentation, resource arguments, data sources, even example code to build you the perfect answer. And make no mistake, this isn't some weekend project. This is a serious enterprise-ready tool. You can run it locally or remotely. It has full support for private registries in HCP and Terraform Enterprise. It can even help with workspace operations, and get this, it emits open telemetry metrics so you can actually see what it's doing. It's built for real professional workflows. You know, maybe the best part of all is just how ridiculously simple it is to get started. I mean, if you're using something like Claude Code, it is literally one command, one line in your terminal, and you're up and running. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's super easy to get going. But with great power comes, well, you know the rest. We need to be smart about where this fits in. So let's shift gears and talk about the modern IAC workflow and figure out exactly when you should use this, and maybe more importantly, when you shouldn't. Here's the key thing to remember. Think of the MCP server as your AI's research department. It's absolutely perfect for discovery, for writing new code, for figuring out how to migrate between provider versions, or for exploring modules. What it is not for is execution. You're not going to use this to run Terraform plan or apply or to mess with state directly. That's still a job for the good old Terraform CLI. And this is where the whole vision just gets so much bigger and more exciting. The Terraform MPC server isn't just some standalone tool. It's like a Lego block. You can start combining it with other specialized MPCs to build a full AI-driven pipeline. Just imagine this. One tool helps you plan the architecture. Our Terraform MPC then generates the code, and then a GitHub MPC could commit it and open a pull request for you. We're not just talking about generating code anymore. We're talking about building a completely new AI-native way of doing DevOps. Which really brings us to the big question here, doesn't it? Tools like this are a massive leap forward. They're turning our AIs from these general-purpose guessers into true specialists with real-time expertise. So is this connection to live domain-specific data, is this the key that's finally going to unlock their potential and make them reliable partners on our teams? You know, it's really starting to feel that way.